What's going on, everyone? So the Blue Jays just pulled off something absolutely brilliant, and I need to talk about it right now because people are sleeping on what just happened. While everyone's obsessing over whether we're getting Kyle Tucker or Anthony Santander, the front office quietly made moves that are honestly genius when you actually break them down. I'm talking about signings that look minor on the surface but could seriously pay off huge down the road. All right, so if you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor and hit that button, because we're covering every single Blue Jays move this offseason, and you don't want to miss what's coming. The support has been incredible, and I appreciate every single one of you watching these videos. Now let's get into what the Jays just did and why it's smarter than most people think. So Steve Adams reported that Toronto signed right-hander Josh Winckowski to a 2-year minor league deal. Now before you click away thinking this is just another depth move, hear me out. Winckowski just had internal brace surgery earlier this month and won't pitch much, if at all, until late next season. The plan is to build him back up as a starter when he's healthy. This is where it gets interesting because the Jays aren't just throwing darts at a board here. They're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Look at his track record. Last year, he posted a 3.86 ERA, the year before that 4.14, but go back to 2023, and this guy had a 2.88 ERA across 60 appearances. That's legitimately good. The Red Sox used him effectively, and he showed he can pitch at this level. Now, because he's injured, his value is at rock bottom. No team is offering him a major league deal right now. So what do the Jays do? They lock him up for 2 years on a minor league contract, basically paying him to rehab in 2026, and then they have him ready to contribute in 2027 when hopefully this team is competing for real. This is zero risk. If it doesn't work out, you cut him and move on. But if Pete Walker and the pitching development staff work their magic like they've done with so many other guys, you've got a legitimate starting pitcher or high-leverage reliever for basically nothing. The upside here is massive compared to what they're investing. Some fans were saying this is exactly the type of depth move championship teams make, and I completely agree. You're not going to see ESPN breaking down this signing, but these are the moves that separate good front offices from great ones. And here's the thing, they didn't stop there. The Jays also signed Nick Enright to a 2-year minor league deal. Same exact strategy. Enright is coming off Tommy John surgery, so he's going to rehab next year with hopes of returning for the 2027 season. Now, if you don't know who Nick Enright is, last year before he got hurt, this guy posted a 2.03 ERA in 27 games. That's elite production from a reliever, but it's bigger than just baseball with Enright. This guy beat cancer last year, like actually fought cancer and won, then came back and pitched incredibly well in the majors before the injury. That's the kind of person and competitor you want in your organization. The mental toughness alone tells you everything you need to know. So not only are the Jays getting a talented arm, they're getting someone with proven resilience and character. Again, it's a minor league deal, so there's zero financial risk, but the reward could be enormous. Think about the bullpen market right now. There's really not much left. You've got Tanner Scott, who already signed, Clay Holmes went to the Mets, Jeff Hoffman got paid. The remaining options are guys like Kenley Jansen, who's like 100 years old, Danny Coulombe, who has injury concerns, maybe Justin Wilson, or David Robertson. It's slim pickings. So by making these moves now, even though these guys won't help immediately, the Jays are setting themselves up with cost-controlled bullpen options for when they're actually trying to win in 2027 and beyond. The front office clearly has a plan here. They signed Tyler Rogers, who's going to help this year. They're still in on bigger names for the rotation and lineup, but they're also thinking ahead and building depth that other teams aren't even considering right now because everyone's focused on the present. Toronto is playing the long game while still trying to compete now, and that's exactly what you want to see. Now, obviously, we're all waiting on the big dominoes to fall. Kyle Tucker and Anthony Santander are still out there, and everything I'm hearing suggests the Jays are absolutely all in on both of these guys. Jeff Passan reported that Tucker could get $384 million, which is insane money for an outfielder, but he's worth it if you're trying to build a contender. The latest from Robert Murray says the Jays know they're in the mix for Tucker, and Santander is their priority, but they're pushing hard on both fronts. There's this narrative going around that if Tucker wants a short-term deal, he'll go to the Dodgers. But if he wants long-term security, it's going to be Toronto. Honestly, every insider has been saying the Blue Jays are the team to watch this offseason for landing a big fish. This feels different than past years where they talked a big game and came up short. The money is there, the need is obvious, and they can't afford to whiff again after losing Guerrero potentially, and with Bichette's future uncertain. The bullpen still needs work beyond these minor league signings, no question, but moves like Winckowski and Enright show they're being smart about resource allocation. Why overpay for a middle reliever now when you can invest in upside guys who might be even better in a couple years for a fraction of the cost? If even one of these two pans out, that's a massive win. If both hit, you're looking at serious surplus value that can be flipped or used to bolster your roster. I keep thinking about 2027 because that's when these moves really start to matter. Winckowski could be a rotation piece or shutdown reliever. Enright could be anchoring the back end of the bullpen, and the Jays will have gotten both for basically nothing, while other teams were spending $8 or $10 million per year on guys who might not be any better. That's how you build sustainable success, not just mortgaging everything for 1 year. The way I see it, Ross Atkins and the front office deserve credit here. Yeah, we all want the big splashy signings, and hopefully Tucker or Santander is coming soon. But these under-the-radar moves matter just as much in the long run. Championship rosters aren't just built with superstars, they're built with smart depth signings that turn into key contributors when you need them most. The Jays are finally doing that instead of just throwing money at mediocre free agents. So while we wait for the big announcements, appreciate what just happened. 2 high-upside arms locked up for 2 years on minor league money. 0 risk, massive potential reward, and a clear indication that this front office is thinking beyond just next season. When Winckowski and Enright are pitching meaningful innings in 2027 and people are wondering where they came from, remember they signed them when nobody else was paying attention during the 2025 offseason. Let me know what you think about these moves. Are you as excited as I am about the strategy here, or do you think I'm reading too much into a couple minor league deals? And what about Tucker and Santander? Who do you want more? Drop your thoughts below because I want to hear from you. This offseason has been wild, and it's not over yet. The Jays are making moves, and I genuinely believe this is the year they finally land their big target. We'll see what happens over the next few days and weeks, but right now I'm feeling pretty good about the direction this team is heading. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.